Hey, how is it going? Lee Hayward here with the Total Fitness Bodybuilding video Q&A. And today we're going to be answering some questions. This is going to be a shorter Q&A today because afterwards I'm going to be hosting a live follow-along workout that you can do as well. This is something that I want to do as a little extra during these challenging times that we're going through. Because right now, as I'm sure you probably know, we're going through a bit of a rough patch when it comes to the current situation with the COVID-19 virus and everything being shut down and, limitations put on us. So obviously we can discuss that during today's video chat, but another thing that I'm going to be doing is live follow-along body weight home workouts. And this is helpful because right now when you can't get to the gym and things are really uncertain, I know a lot of people are frustrated, and it's nice to have this bit of community, a bit of a support environment where we can still keep in touch, keep connected, and even though we have our social distancing, we can keep connected online, obviously, but have a nice follow-along workout. And I did one of these yesterday on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Facebook page, and it went over really well. Got a lot of feedback, a lot of support, a lot of people joined in. So if you're interested in doing a follow-along workout from home with minimal equipment, hey, head on over to the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Facebook page. If you're not already a part of the Facebook page, just go over there, search for Lee Hayward's Total Fitness Bodybuilding. We've got a page, we've got a private group. Just check that out, and that's where I'm going to be hosting the live follow-along workout. And I actually posted a link to this in my community tab on the YouTube channel. So hey, if you want to join in, by all means do so. It's going to be in about an hour and a half from now. So it's something I'm going to be doing right after this video chat. But the purpose of these video chats is basically just have conversation, right? Just to chat, answer any questions that you have with building muscle, losing fat, your nutrition, workouts. If you want to discuss some strategies to deal with the current situation and still stay on track with reaching your fitness and fat loss goals, hey, by all means, feel free to post those questions and comments into our chat window right there, basically I'll do the best that I can over the next 45 minutes or so, and then we'll get ready and jump in and do a group workout. So who's tuning in? Let me know who's tuning into the live chat right now. Let me know if this is coming through loud and clear, if you can hear me and see me, all that good stuff. I'm just going to adjust the volume here, make sure it seems to be coming through good on my end, but let me know in the comments if you can hear me, see me, all that. Please let me know if it's loud and clear. Let's see who's tuning in right now. We've got Dark Boy joining in. Rusty is joining in. Jason joining in. Stride Gamer, I think it is, joining in. Chris tuning in. Hey guys, how are you doing? Dan tuning in. Says it's loud and clear. Awesome. Lee's joining us. Great stuff. All right, guys. Cool. All right. So again, if you've never tuned into one of these chats before, just type in the letter N, meaning that you're new to the video chat, because I always like to have new people joining in. Welcome if this is new for you. If you're regular and you tune in every single week, hey, type the letter R into the chat window there. Let me know if you are a regular. And basically the way it works is we're just going to sit back, have a conversation, shoot the breeze for the next little while. And, hopefully I'll be able to offer some insights and some conversation, help you with your fitness and fat loss goals, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. So I just jump in now, see what we have, any questions coming through. Okay, what questions we have? Rusty is saying, thanks for the videos. You're welcome, my friend. Jason saying, how am I doing? Looking forward to this. Thanks. I'm doing great. I mean, despite all the challenges that we're going through, I mean, I'm doing the best I can. I know it's frustrating and everything else considering, but making the best of it, making the best of the current situation. Obviously, can't go to the gym. Gym has been closed. Our local government has mandated that all gyms close down due to the current situation. And that is quite frustrating, obviously, but I understand where they're coming from. I mean, a gym can be a bad place for spreading germs and viruses, even if you try to keep up on the cleanliness. I mean, just the fact that you have a bunch of people in close contact, breathing and sweating and interacting and all that. I mean, it's not the best for keeping virus and contamination under control. So I totally understand where they're coming from with closing down gyms, even though it's frustrating. But don't use that as an excuse to not keep yourself active, right? There's so much more that you can do besides going to the gym. I mean, if you have a home gym, hey, count your blessings and absolutely take advantage of it during this time. And even if you don't have a home gym, you can still keep yourself active, right? You can get outside, you can go for walks, you can go for jogs, you can go for a bicycle ride, you can do bodyweight workouts at home. If you have access to like a playground or something like that, you go there, take advantage of it, because I mean, you can do workouts using playground equipment. If you have any like rubber fitness bands or dumbbells or anything like that at home, you can still get a workout. Even though it's not the ideal, it's not the same program you've been following, same exercises, you can still make progress regardless. And that's something that I really want to emphasize. It's more important than ever to really take care of your health and fitness, because not only for the physical benefits, building muscle, losing fat, but the mental benefits. This is something I really want to drive home. The best form of natural stress relief is exercise. It's going to help to keep your system strong, help to keep your immune system strong, and help to keep you mentally sound as well. It's like a natural antidepressant. So if you are feeling stress from the situation that we're going through right now, exercise is one of the best things. And daily exercise. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, even if it's as simple as getting out for a walk. Like, that makes you feel so much better. Outdoors, fresh air. I mean, today, earlier, I was out for a walk. It was a cold one. I mean, I'm still in Canada. I mean, even though, right, we're moving into spring right now, we still got snow on the ground. It's still sub-freezing temperatures. So, I mean, it's cold, but I'm getting outside just for the fresh air, and that makes a big difference, right? It feels good. It's good cardio, still keeping the body fat in check. Another thing you want to really focus on is your nutrition. Nutrition is vital. Like, do not use this time as an excuse to start eating junk food, drinking alcohol, and all that kind of stuff. Like, I know a lot of people do. Anytime that they're under stress, they're uncertain, they seek comfort through food, alcohol, drugs, whatever, to kind of get that temporary distraction. And that is something you definitely do not want to do, because that's going to lower your immune system. I mean, when you fill up on those empty calorie foods, the junk foods, the processed foods, it places extra stress on your system. You're loading up with empty calories. It's not nourishing your body. It's just placing extra stress that your body has to deal with in an already stressful situation. So, I mean, most people that I talk to are not directly affected by this, meaning, we're not sick or in contact with anybody who is sick, but we're facing the indirect feelings of everything that's going on. Businesses being closed down. A lot of people's workplaces are closed down. If you have kids, the kids are out of school, right? If you have kids in daycare, the daycares are closed. Like, there's so much going on right now. And of course, the gym is closed, and there's limitations on what you can do and where you can go. And it's just creates a lot of stress, and you can't help but get caught up with that, right? I mean, everywhere you turn, right? You turn on the TV, you turn on social media, stuff like that. It's like doom and gloom. So this, like, if anything, use this as an excuse to take extra good care of yourself so that you can stay healthy and strong during the whole situation. And I actually have a free gift that I would like to give you, a free bonus that will help with this. And it's a vitamin and mineral guide that will help to not only aid with your muscle building and fat loss goals, but help to boost your immune system. Because when it comes to nutrition, like, a lot of people focus on calories, they focus on protein, they focus on, carbs and fat, and the big picture, your calories and your macros. But not a lot of people focus on the smaller picture, meaning the micronutrients, your vitamins, your minerals, your electrolytes, the phytochemicals and the enzymes, and all these little things that can really make a big difference in improving your overall health, but also keeping the immune system strong. So I have a free PDF guide that I would like to send you. And this is a detailed report covering all the major vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes that you want to be consuming. And it gives supplement recommendations as well as natural food recommendations for how you can meet your vitamin and mineral needs. So if you would like to get a free copy of that, all you have to do is send me an email. My personal email address is lee@leehayward.com. Again, it's lee@leehayward.com. Send me an email to that address with the words vitamin guide. That's all you have to say, vitamin guide. If you put that in the subject line, I'll know exactly what you mean, and I will send you a copy of this, and you can follow along with it to help keep yourself strong and healthy during these times. I mean, something you should be following along with anyway, but it's especially important during these times. So make sure to do that, and if you would like to get a copy of it, just send me an email. And I'll post it in the video description of this after it's posted up, the replay and all that. But for those of you tuning in live right now, send me an email, lee@leehayward.com, and I will forward you a copy of that guide as soon as possible. All right, so I'm just going to grab a sip. I'm drinking a green tea. Green tea is another good one that you can sip on. Help keep your immune system strong, and it also has a lot of fat burning and health benefits. All right, so if you have any questions, guys, this is your chance to type them into our chat window. All right, I'll jump in and see what our first question of the day is. This one is from Stride Gamer, I believe it is, or I might be mispronouncing your name, but it's close enough. Says he's 15 years old. Okay, so you're a young guy joining in. Hey, congrats on working out at a young age. I appreciate that. I got a lot of respect. I mean, I started working out when I was 12, so I can relate to workouts for teenagers for sure. He says he's been doing a heavy workout lately, but he finds that his head hurts, and he said he's seen my video, and I seen your video about it. Would I get a stroke if I don't lower my intensity? Okay. The odds of you actually getting a stroke from working out are slim to none. Like when people have a stroke, it's usually serious issues. It's not from workouts, right? That's usually that's at another level. I mean, the intensity that you push yourself in the gym, I'm not saying it's impossible. Anything is possible, but it's unlikely. However, if you are experiencing headaches from your workouts, there's a few reasons. One is you're probably pushing yourself too hard, too much, too soon. So scale back the intensity a little bit. And a great way to do this is just take longer rest periods between sets. If you are pushing yourself hard, working out with high intensity, it can cause a lot of stress on the body. And having adequate rest time between sets will help your body to deal with that. Because one of the reasons why we do get headaches, it's exertion headaches is what we refer to it. And I made a video about this a few years ago talking about exertion headaches. If you want to check that out, just do a search for Lee Hayward exertion headache. It should pop up in the YouTube search. But a lot of times if you're pushing yourself too hard, you can get those. And I used to get them a lot when I was younger. I don't get them as much now, but when I was younger, I did. And sometimes it can make you feel sometimes even a bit stomach sick, like if you get lactic acid buildup in the system, or if you're not getting enough blood flow, it can cause headaches and literally it's just like this paining, throbbing sensation in your head, and it really can take the fun out of the workouts. So simple things: don't try and exert yourself too much. Like take adequate rest time between sets, at least 1 to 2 minutes between sets, and if you are getting headaches, purposely add an extra minute to whatever you're doing now. So let's just say you're resting a minute between sets now. Bump that up to 2 minutes rest between sets. And what this will do is it'll allow your body to process the waste products that get built up when you exercise, the lactic acid buildup. It'll help you to get more oxygen throughout the system. So during those rest periods, purposely take deep breaths, right? Deep breaths, like in and out, and just really focus on the breath. And that will help to oxygenize your body so that you deal with a lot of the waste products and get more oxygen so that you're not having those headaches. And when it comes to the exercises themselves, like, don't push yourself to the limit. Just train to positive momentary muscular failure, and that's intense enough. Like, you don't need to be pushing yourself with forced reps and cheating reps and partials or negatives or any of that kind of stuff. And the true definition of failure, like, this is one that a lot of people don't fully grasp. The definition of failure is not the point at which you cannot move the weight or the point where you cannot complete another repetition of the exercise. It's the point where you can't do another repetition with good form. So as soon as you find your form starting to break down, meaning that you can't do another form with good form and maintain control of the weight during the exercise, that's failure, right? So once you reach that point, stop the set. And I'll give you an example that you'll be able to relate to. Like, let's say we're doing a bicep curl. So, I mean, you're curling the weight up, right? You're doing your bicep curls. A lot of guys swing and cheat, and they use a lot of momentum to complete the exercise. So they're already beyond failure before they even get going because they're lifting too much for their body. And this places a lot of stress on the joints, tendons, and ligaments, and of course, a stress on the body as well. So make sure that you're lifting a weight that you can actually do good form with, right? So it should be a muscular contraction, not simply moving the weight from point A to point B. And feel the muscles working. Get that mind-muscle connection with whatever body part you're training. Actually feel the muscles stretch and contract. And once you get to the point now where you can't maintain a nice controlled tempo, have control of the weight through the entire range of motion, that you've hit failure. Once you're at that point, stop the set, take a rest break, grab a sip of water, and then complete the set, or complete another set afterwards. That's how I go about my workouts now, focusing on quality, not simply quantity, and not simply just moving weight, right? You want to feel the muscles working, not simply stressing the joints, tendons, and ligaments. Another tip that can help big time with this, drinking adequate water throughout your workouts, like having a little sip of water in between sets. It goes a long way, keeps your body hydrated, and it will make you feel so much better while you're training. So, there's a couple little tips that will definitely help. But if you want more, go do a search for that video. It's Lee Hayward exertion headache. If you do a search for that, you'll see that video. All right. Okay, what other questions we have? Let's see. I was hoping the workouts would be on YouTube with dumbbells. I'm going to be posting more home workouts with different home gym equipment. Like right now, what I'm doing for the live workouts, it's going to be a follow along live workout. And I'm going to be doing those over on the Facebook page because I find Facebook is better for interaction and the community aspect because you can message back and forth better. You can direct message, and we have a private Facebook group there as well where, a lot of people tune into the group, and we can have like a conversation, an ongoing discussion versus with YouTube, even though it's great for sharing the video, the back and forth conversation is quite limited compared to Facebook. So I like to use both. I like to take advantage of both Facebook and YouTube. So YouTube is great for the video. Facebook is better for the back and forth conversation. So that's why I'm utilizing both platforms. So if you're not already following me over on Facebook, hey, go ahead, do that. Make sure to join our private Facebook group as well. We've got a Total Fitness Bodybuilding group, and it's a closed group, so you actually have to apply to join it, but you can go ahead and do that. And I'll be sharing the live videos there. But I'll also be doing some workouts on YouTube as well. Like right now, if you go to my main YouTube channel, there is a bodyweight workout that you can follow along with posted there as well. All right, who else is tuning in here? We have the last fake natty is joining us. Lee Dunnigan is joining us. Bobby is joining us. We have Graz Maiden from the Netherlands tuning in. We got a couple new people joining in. A couple regulars. Okay, so Rusty's a regular. Stride Gamers is new to the chat. We have Bit Upon, I think that's your name, is new to the chat. Jason's a regular. Dark Boy's new. Welcome, guys. If you're brand new again, hey, welcome. It's always cool to have new people tuning in. Let's see what other questions we have. Andrew's joining in, saying thanks for all the great content you provide over the years. You're welcome, Andrew. Glad you enjoy it. Dean is joining us, and he says, they've just closed all of our gyms from midnight tonight. I've ordered some fitness bands, and I'm going to be doing your home workout that you put out the other day. Awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you're taking the initiative, right? For these times when you can't get to the gym, this is when you want to be proactive, as I mentioned before. Rubber resistance bands. This is one of the best tools that you can use for home workouts. They're inexpensive, they're very convenient. You can use them with minimal space. Like even if you're in like a small apartment, you can use them. Obviously, if you have your own home, you can use them. Like it's not a disruptive piece of exercise equipment. It's not like weights and dumbbells and barbells and things like that. Like rubber resistance bands are very convenient, but you can get an awesome workout. Like you can duplicate machine and cable exercises with band variations. And I'll be showing some of those in the live workout that we do today. Today's workout is going to be a combination of body weight and some rubber resistance band exercises. But that's something I would definitely recommend. Like when you're like at places like Walmart or any department store, you should be able to pick up rubber resistance bands. If you go on Amazon and do a search, you should be able to find rubber resistance bands. Uh, One that I like, Body Elastic Bands makes a good one. And these are adjustable tension bands where you can actually, you have the handles and the bands are separate. So you can actually stack bands onto the handles and you can make the exercises as hard or as easy as you want. So for obviously small isolation exercises, you can use light resistance bands. If you're doing big compound exercises like rows or presses or something that's heavier, you can stack multiple bands on top of the handles and have a heavy resistance. So you get the the progressive overload just the same as if you were doing resistance training in the gym. So that's a great one. But whatever you have available, like when you're at the department store next, just like you just see what they have in the sporting goods section and stock up. And this is something, if you haven't done so already, you probably want to do it like sooner than later, because this kind of stuff could easily sell out, right? Because a lot of people who are normally going to the gyms, they know that, hey, the gym is closed. So simple stuff like this, home exercise equipment, which is probably in stock, a normal situation, I could see that selling out pretty quickly, in the department stores. And it could be selling out on Amazon as well, especially depending on how long this whole situation with the gym shutdowns and everything else, how long it lasts, who knows, right? But you definitely want to be proactive and get yourself a set sooner than later. Let's see what else we've got. We have Samir joining in. Awesome. He says jump rope's another great option for home workouts. Absolutely. Jump rope is an underrated form of cardio conditioning. If you've never jumped rope before, man, that is hard, right? I mean, I don't do it much myself, but I used to do it back in the day when I was doing some boxing workouts, and that's when I got into doing jump rope. And it, like, someone who's good at jumping rope makes it look so easy and effortless, and you allow them to look at it and say, hey, anybody can do that. And then you try it, and it is hard. It is very intense. It is high intensity cardio, and it takes a lot of coordination as well. It's not as simple as it looks, but great for cardiovascular conditioning. Also a phenomenal exercise for building up your calves. I mean, if your calves are a stubborn body part, jumping rope is a great way to get some extra muscle stimulation down there. And it's just so simple, so cheap. I mean, you can pick up a jump rope for like less than $10, a really good one, and you have a form of cardio right there and then. Boom, jumping rope. That's awesome. Let's see what else. Samir saying he's following the 3-day workout split that I posted. Awesome, good for you. We have Jonathan's joining in. Okay, let me see what else. We have Lego in mind saying, Lee, I know it's off topic, but where did you get your glasses? I got my glasses from Costco. That's where I bought them too. Costco Optical. Right? I get a lot of stuff at Costco. I love Costco. Get a lot of my groceries there. I mean, it's just I'm huge. I'm not sponsored by Costco, of course. A lot of times whenever you see someone on YouTube or on social media or whatever recommend something, everybody thinks, oh, they're sponsored by them. No, I'm not sponsored. I just genuinely like Costco. Okay, what else we've got there? Hybrid is joining us, and he says, is it okay to make milk a large percentage of my calorie/protein intake as I have to ration my daily meat intake because of where I live. In London, the meat is gone in a couple hours after the store's open. All right, that's a good one, because right now we could be facing some dietary restrictions due to what's available, or what's not available, I should say, in the grocery stores. Like the other day when I was out grocery shopping, um, all the beef was sold out. All the chicken was sold out. There was all the fish was sold out. I ended up getting some pork tenderloin, was the only form of fresh meat that I was able to buy. So I ended up stocking up on pork tenderloin. So you kind of got to like make the best of what's available, right? Even if you have your set diet plan with the foods that you normally like, you're probably going to have to make some substitutions. Another thing that I stocked up on is non-perishable food items, right? Some canned tuna fish, canned chicken. You can get canned salmon and things like this. Like it's not the best. I mean, I prefer the fresh, but hey, it's nice to have the canned stuff on hand just in case there is a shortage. I mean, you want to have that stuff on hand. Other great non-perishable food items like oatmeal, rice, pasta, canned vegetables, canned beans. You can even buy like big bags of like dried beans and cook those up as well, boil them up. What frozen vegetables. Ironically, I found the grocery stores that I've been to lately, anyway, like the meat has been sold out. Like a lot of the junk foods have been sold out, but ironically, like a lot of the produce is still there. Like fruits and vegetables in the produce section, like it's not sold out. So like people are stocking up on junk food, and of course stocking up on toilet paper, which is the most ridiculous thing. I don't. That's like putting the cart before the horse, because I mean, what the heck do you need toilet paper for if you're running out of food, right? You got to have something in your system to poop out before you wipe it up afterwards. So, like, don't hoard toilet paper, people, please. It's the stupidest thing ever. I'd rather see somebody hoard food than hoard toilet paper. But the non-perishable food items, you definitely want to stock up on that. And that includes protein powder. I stocked up on protein powder, greens powder as well. I mean, if you can't get, the protein foods that you normally want, you can't get the vegetables you normally want, you can supplement with protein powder and greens powder. That's a great alternative as well, because now you're getting the concentrated supplement form of protein and vegetables that way. Stock up on your vitamins. Like I mentioned earlier, that vitamin guide that I'll send you. Again, if you want a copy of the vitamin and mineral guide, send me an email, lee@leehayward.com, and I'll personally email you a copy of that guide. But stocking up on vitamins, your multivitamins, fish oils, zinc and magnesium, and the B complex, and vitamin D3. Like all these type of things can help to keep your immune system strong. Vitamin C, all this stuff, probiotics, like anything that you can do to kind of give you an extra edge in terms of strengthening your immune system, keeping yourself healthy, it's going to go a long way in these times, right? I mean, we want to be as healthy as possible so that, heaven forbid, if you do get sick, you're at a better chance of fighting it off and having a good recovery, versus if you're weakened immune system, you're eating poorly, then you're just putting yourself in a negative situation. You're making it harder for your body to recover. So we want to kind of like tip the scale in favor, tip the odds in our favor of being as healthy as possible. So definitely stock up on your vitamins as well, along with the non-perishable food items. All right, let's see what else we got there. Other questions coming through. This is from Albanian El Ryan, I think it is. That's his name. I could be mispronouncing your name, but the question is, how does a weightlifter train for an 8-hour day? How does weightlifters train for 8 hours a day? I don't know any weightlifters that train for 8 hours a day, so that's I'm not even going to answer that one. Most people that I know who train like maybe an hour or two at most. I don't know anybody who trains for 8 hours a day. So yeah, that's overtraining. Like when it comes to workouts, more is not better. Like focus on the quality, not the quantity. Dark Boy saying, why are you not giving me my questions answer? What is your questions answer? I've went through them all so far. If I skipped a question, I do apologize. I'm just scrolling back through. He's asking for my phone number. I'm not going to give out my phone number over YouTube, but if you want, you can send me an email and we can chat that way. So there, I don't give out my phone number on YouTube, but if you want, you can email me and we can chat. Who else is tuning in? Let's see. Hyde Torah is joining us. He says, Lee, in the course of the closure, in the course of close to 8 months, I have lost 22 kilograms. Now I realize I don't feel as hungry as before. Is it normal? Thanks for always helping. Yeah, if you make some changes like that, obviously you made some major lifestyle changes to lose 22 kilograms, which is a lot. That's like 22 kilograms. That's pushing, it's almost 50 pounds of body weight that you lost, which, hey, if I had a hat, I would tip my hat to you. That is a huge accomplishment. And what you're going to find is as you make those changes, you start eating natural, unprocessed foods, you lose that body weight, your diet and your eating habits and everything else is going to change accordingly. And very often you're not going to crave the processed junk food as much. Your palate will change and you'll actually start to crave the healthier food options. And you won't want to be eating the same junk foods that you were before that caused you to have that extra weight on to begin with. So it's quite normal as you make these changes for your appetite to change as well. And that's good. Because very often what happens is when you're eating the junk food, the processed foods, the sweets, and all that, it causes your appetite to increase because these foods are genetically manufactured, artificially manufactured to increase appetite and increase consumption. That's like it's not an accident that you eat junk food and it makes you hungrier. It makes you want to eat more. Like the whole thing, what was it with the potato chips? They say, I bet you just can't eat one. And that's true. They were, engineered to and designed to be that way with the ideal ratio of, flavor and texture and saltiness and crunch and everything else. Like they're designed to make you want to eat more. So when you eat junk food, the cookies and cakes and chips and whatever, it doesn't satisfy your appetite. It just makes you want to eat more and more. And that's why people overeat that stuff. Whereas if you look at the natural unprocessed foods, the fruits and the vegetables and the unprocessed, meats and fish and chicken and all that, that naturally fills you up. Like if you're eating, like, just give you an example, a bag of potato chips. I'm sure every single person watching this, if you wanted to, you could sit down and eat a whole bag of potato chips. Could you sit down and eat a whole bag of kale salad? Could you sit down and eat a whole bag of apples, right? Or something like that? No, I mean, you eat so much of that stuff and you naturally get full. It satisfies your appetite. But when it comes to the processed food, the junk foods, it doesn't satisfy your appetite. It just makes you want to eat more and more and more. And that's why people end up overeating, getting overweight, and getting actually addicted to it. I mean, these foods have addictive properties to it, whereas the natural unprocessed foods don't. So once you make those transitions, those switches, you're going to find you'll get full with less food and actually be satiated. And that's the cool thing about making these type of dietary changes, is it gives you more eating satisfaction with less food, and you feel better because now you're nourishing your body with high nutrient, low calorie foods, instead of the other way around of just bogging it down with high calorie, low nutrient foods. So this is what you want to do. I mean, in general, but especially if your goal is to lose fat and improve your health, you definitely want to do that. So that's totally normal what you're experiencing there with regards to the not feeling as hungry as before. All right, RC is tuning in saying, I'm at work through the weekend. I have to. Thanks for the upload. I need a pick-me-up. Hey, stay strong, my friend. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. And the cool thing about like all the workout videos and stuff that I'm going to be doing, even the live ones, like the replay is always posted up afterwards. So like if you didn't get a chance to check out yesterday's live workout that I did, I mean, the replay is posted up there on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Facebook page. The one that I'm going to do this afternoon, that's going to be posted up as well. So you can always check the replays afterwards, even if you don't get the chance to tune in live. It's extra cool if you can tune in live and participate with the chat like you're doing right now. But, the replay is the next best thing. All right, another question there. Do you buy sweet potatoes from Costco? Yeah, I get sweet potatoes from Costco. I get a lot of my grocery items from Costco. I mean, most of my staples I usually get from there, and you know, the only time I get stuff elsewhere is if it's not available at Costco, or sometimes in certain foods I might not get from Costco if they only sell these ginormous bulk size bags. Like I'll give you an example. Like at our local Costco, if you're buying carrots, like I think it's like a 10-pound bag of carrots that they sell. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going through 10 pounds of carrots. Uh, that's just too much. Like they would start to spoil before I went through them all. So I end up buying that at the grocery store because I can get smaller bags. I can get like a pound or 2 pounds of carrots instead of 10 pounds. Like, but some of the bigger stuff, I'll get in bulk, especially if it's non-perishable or stuff that I go through in larger quantities. I'll definitely get it at Costco because it's usually a better deal more often than not. But in some cases, it's too good of a deal. And like I say, I'm not going to buy up food that's just going to spoil on me. So sometimes I end up getting the smaller packages at the grocery store. But in the case of sweet potatoes, yeah, I'll stock up at Costco for that stuff. All right, let's see what else we've got. Can you recommend some good exercises or stretches for sciatica? Yeah, that's definitely something that we can probably look into in some future videos. Right now, I actually have a full stretching playlist on my YouTube channel. If you want to go check that out, just go to the playlist section, and there's a stretching routine covering stretches for all the major muscle groups of the body. But there are some there for the legs, and there's also some stretching and hip mobility exercises there, and that would definitely help with some of that sciatica pain that you're dealing with. So lower body stretches, the hip mobility stretches can definitely help. Those are ones that I would recommend. Another good YouTube channel that I've used myself, it's from Dr. Alan Mandel. You can do a search for his name, Dr. Alan Mandel. He's got a large following on YouTube. He's a physiotherapist, and basically the channel is all home exercises, home workouts that you can do to treat pretty much any ailment or problem that you've got, like from joint pain, mobility issues, whatever. Like you just go to his channel and type in whatever aches or pains you got, and it's almost guaranteed he's going to have a video covering whatever it is that you're looking for. So I mean, you go to his channel and type in, the sciatica, and you would get some exercises to deal with that. Again, his name is Dr. Alan Mandel. I've never met the man personally, but I've just found his videos on YouTube, and I found them to be very helpful. He's knowledgeable, he knows his stuff, and he's got a ton of content that he gives away. So I want to give a shout out to him. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll actually meet the man in person, but for now I'm just giving a virtual shout out to him because he's got a phenomenal channel. A lot of subscribers, like well over 1 million subscribers to his channel, and like I say, well deserved because he definitely knows his stuff. But if you're suffering from injuries or mobility issues and things like that, definitely recommend you check him out. Let's see. Okay, got some people saying I'm ignoring their questions. Goodbye. I told you, dude, I'm not giving you my phone number on YouTube. All right. If you want to email me, if you have some personal questions you want to talk about, you can certainly email me, but I'm not giving out my phone number on YouTube. If that bothers you, then leave. Simple as that. All right. Anyway, moving on. All right. Can't please everybody in the world, right? But I can try my best. All right. If you like the video chats, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video chats, then give it a thumbs down and leave. As simple as that. Just out of curiosity, all right? If you do like these video chats, please give it a thumbs up. I want to see that thumbs up go up. Thumbs up if you actually enjoy these video chats. You enjoy me actually taking the time each week to come in here and have these chats and offer some help and support. I mean, I don't claim to have all the answers, but what I can help you with, I definitely will. Right? I know some people enjoy it. Obviously, we have a lot of regulars who come back week after week and they tune in regularly and enjoy these chats. But then again, I get some people tune in and, don't like the chats, right? They just come in and complain. So if you're just here to complain and bitch and moan, then hey, that's not what we're about here. We're trying to help and create a positive and supportive community. And if you do have any questions that you don't want to either something that you don't want to post publicly, that's fine. Like you can email me, right? I have an email address. lee@leehayward.com, right? You can email me those questions and we can chat privately if it's something that you don't want to be having out on the internet. I mean, that's totally cool as well, right? But I'm not going to be giving up my personal information over a freaking YouTube video. And if that bothers you, then leave. All right, let's see what else we got. Paul's tuning in. Paul's a regular. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Hopefully you're holding up well through all the situation we're going through. He says, so glad to connect. Workouts were great. Any more special advice for beginners? The best advice I can give a beginner, and when it comes to fitness, fat loss, working out, anything related to that, first off, look at this as a long-term game. This isn't some short-term quick fix solution. Like a lot of times when I'm talking to people who are new to fitness, new to exercise, they have these unrealistic expectations. They think like, for example, if someone's goal is to lose weight, all they're thinking about is like, how fast can I lose the weight? Like, what can I do to lose the weight as quickly as possible? And then they resort to all these crazy, extreme, temporary approaches, like crash diets, these stupid fasting protocols, or like going on zero carbs, or just cutting out food groups and trying to take some crazy extreme approach to get their results as fast as possible. And that's the wrong way to look at it. Look at quality over just the speed of implementation. I mean, it's you want to create a lifestyle change, not just create this rapid lose a bunch of weight type of scenario. Because what I found through personal experience and through working with a lot of people, the faster you lose the weight and the more extreme of an approach you take to lose it, the less likely it is you're going to maintain it. Like if your goal is just to drop weight as quickly as possible, I'm going to give you a simple solution that would work. Stop eating. Like if you just stop eating, let's say you went for the next month and didn't eat a bite of food, guess what? You would lose a ton of weight. But as soon as you go back to your old habits, you're going to gain it all back again. Like it's not a lifestyle approach. You have to learn how to stop getting fat in the first place. You have to learn how to maintain this as a lifestyle. Just simply going on a crash diet or trying to lose it as quickly as possible is pointless. And an analogy that I like to use to kind of really drive this home, like imagine we are out in a boat, we're out at sea and we're in a boat, and there's a hole in the boat and the boat's taking on water. And then we're thinking, well, what's the fastest way to get the water out of the boat? Someone says, well, I'm going to get a bucket. I'm going to just dump the water out of the boat as fast as possible. Someone else says, well, I'm going to get a siphon and set it up, and I'm going to siphon the water out of the boat as fast as possible. And you're thinking of all these ways of how can I get the water out of the boat as fast as possible? Well, guess what? If you don't plug the hole in the boat, it doesn't matter how fast you get the water out, because as soon as you stop actively dumping water out of the boat, it's going to fill back up again. The same applies with losing body fat. Like thinking of how fast you can lose fat, that's the wrong mentality. Let's stop getting fat in the first place. Learn how to live a lean, healthy lifestyle and not get fat. So then when you do lose some fat, you actually maintain it and keep it off, versus just going on some crash diet, lose 10, 20 pounds or more, and then go back to your old habits and gain it all back again. Right? It's just like that analogy with the boat. I mean, it doesn't matter how fast we can dump the water out. If the boat is still leaking and taking on water, it's all for naught. So we have to fix the root problem first, address the lifestyle and the dietary issues, get yourself in a situation where that you can actually maintain a lean, healthy physique, not get fat, maintain good health, and then we can worry about improving it from there. So start with the basics, lay the foundation, and realize this isn't some short-term quick fix solution. That's the best mindset and mental advice that I can give a beginner. And then realize that this is a long-term game. Like instead of thinking of short-term in terms of like a few weeks or a few months, think of long-term. Like where do you want to be this time next year? Where do you want to be this time in 5 years? Where do you want to be this time in 10 years? Think long-term, not these quick fix solutions. If you start thinking long-term and the foundation and the habits, that will set you up for success more than anything. Right? A lot of people, again, have these unrealistic expectations, and it ultimately sets them up for failure. And one thing I also notice is a lot of people, they'll start a diet and exercise program, they'll start seeing some progress, but then they're comparing their results to others. It's like you're comparing your current situation to someone else who's probably been doing this a heck of a lot longer than you, right? And that's an unfair comparison. Like if you started working out and improving your diet and lifestyle and everything else, and let's just say you're 3 months in, and then you're comparing your progress to someone who's been doing this for 10 years. Like, do you think you're going to at 3 months, do you think you're going to have the same results as someone who's been doing it for 10 years? Right? Of course not. I mean, that's ridiculous. That applies with anything. Like, let's just say I'm trying to learn to play the guitar, and I just started a couple months ago, and I'm still struggling. I'm still fumbling up the chords, and I don't have the rhythm yet. And then I watch someone else who's been playing for 10 years, and they're just like riffing off and just not even like make it look so easy and effortless. And I'm comparing my progress to theirs. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, obviously, someone who's been doing this a long time is going to be at a different level. They're going to, and not saying that you can't get there. Of course you can. I mean, you still have to go through the process, but don't compare your results right now to someone else, because that usually just sets you up for disappointment and failure, right? Focus on being the best version of you. Focus on your personal progress. I mean, you can be inspired by other people's progress, absolutely. Realize that, hey, that's kind of like the long-term potential. I could possibly get there someday, but don't say, well, hey, like look at where they're at and look where I'm at. Oh, it's pointless. Like I should quit now. Like, no, I mean, it doesn't work that way, right? Think of just being better than you are. Focus on the progress, not the perfection. I mean, if you can get 1% better each day, like that's a good mindset to have. 1% better each day. That little bit of improvement. And if you really did that, let's just say you improved 1%. I mean, you're not going to really notice it. Like, let's say you got 1% leaner, or you got 1% stronger, or 1% more muscle. Like, nobody's going to be able to look at you and say, wow, you gained 1%, didn't you? Right? I mean, it's not even noticeable. It's such a small level of progress that it's not noticeable. But if you do that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, like look at the progress that you can make over the long term. If you just focus on getting a little tiny bit better day after day, and that consistency. That's what we're looking at here. We're looking at long-term progress, not these short-term quick fix, because that's where people screw up. And part of the blame, it has to do with the whole fitness industry as a whole. It's always pushing these crazy unrealistic solutions. Drop 30 pounds in 30 days, or go on some crazy Hollywood miracle diet and get ripped over the weekend, or whatever, or take this supplement and you'll be shredded in 4 weeks, and all this BS. The supplement and fitness industry is pushing all these BS solutions, when you need to realize that this is a long-term process. Like, the ironic thing when you see some of these supplements and programs or whatever, like I'm talking about like fitness gizmos and infomercial crap that you see, like the models that they have in these, advertisements, these are people who've been training for 10 plus years to get to where they are. And yet they're using those people as, for their advertisements to say, hey, you can do this in 6 weeks, or you can do this in 30 days, or whatever. And no, it's a crock of shit. Like, nobody's going to make that kind of massive transformation quickly. It takes time, right? Like, I can guarantee you, like, if you start going through, like, you're looking on social media, on YouTube, on Instagram, or wherever, or just athletes, or anybody that you look up to in terms of fitness, most of these people have been working out for a minimum of 10 years. Most of them. I mean, that's how long it takes. So, I mean, like, wrap your head around a decade. Like, think of where you're going to be in a decade from now. And that will really set you up on the right track, versus trying to think where you're going to be in 30 days from now, or where you're going to be in 6 weeks from now. Right? Think long term. And that sets you up on the right mental track to actually get to the results that you want. In my case, I started working out back in 1990. So, I mean, we're going on 30 years, right? Now, it doesn't mean you're going to continue to grow bigger and stronger and get for nonstop. I mean, you do have a genetic limit, especially when it comes to muscle growth, right? I mean, like, you're just not going to continually grow forever. Like, eventually you're going to hit your natural genetic limit. But you can still improve in terms of your health and your fitness, and enjoy the benefits. But like I say, it's a long-term game. It's not a quick fix solution. Anyway, I know that was a bit of a rant, but hopefully that puts things in perspective, Paul. That's the best advice I can give to somebody who's a beginner starting out. right? We're in this for the long haul. We have Stogie from Scotland. How's it going, my friend? He's asking for any tips on getting into the gym mindset and staying focused when training at home. Join me for the live follow-along workouts that I'm going to be doing. That will help, because at least then it won't feel like you're working out alone. You'll be doing it, with a kind of a virtual community and have a virtual training partner. That's why I've decided, you know what, I'm going to start doing these live follow-along workouts. It's just give you a little bit of extra motivation, because I'll be honest, working out at home, it's easy to get lazy, right? Even if you've got a good home gym, you don't have the same energy because you're there by yourself. And it's just like you could have all the equipment there, but if you're by yourself, you don't have the same energy, the same enthusiasm. You're not feeding off other people. Like, that's what I like about the gym. Like, I have a fully equipped home gym, and I do use it, but I prefer to go to the public gym, because go in there and you got other people and you just got that energy, that vibe, and it just, you feed off it. I will get a way better workout at a public gym than I will at home. But in times like this, we got to make do with what we have available. So, you have to utilize the home gym. Or, even if you don't have a home gym, you have to use like body weight exercises or whatever you have available. So kind of what can really help is these follow along workouts that I'm going to be doing. And that's the whole purpose of it, is just to create that enthusiasm, that bit of extra energy, feel like you're not doing it alone, right? Have that connection. Even though we have to have our social distancing in the real world, we can have virtual connection, through video and social media. So I want to take advantage of that. Okay, what else we got? Glenn Roy is tuning in. He says, I do full body exercise 2 times per week. Can I do 4 days of cardio? Also, when do you do cardio? Can you eat more? All right. That's first off, you can do cardio every day, right? In fact, I would recommend doing cardio every day, just for the health benefits, the fat loss benefits, the mental clarity benefits. But when I say cardio, I don't mean running sprints. I don't mean all busting your ass with this high intensity interval training or whatever. Like, cardio could be getting outside and going for a walk. It could literally be as simple as that. And it could be doing some high intensity cardio from time to time. But make sure that you're doing some form of exercise every single day, whether that's getting outside for a walk, whether that's doing a weight training workout, whether it's doing a body weight workout, whether it's going for a bicycle ride, whatever. Like, do something every sinle day. Like, I have a personal rule where I absolutely must exercise for a minimum of 30 minutes a day. Like, say, that could be a 30-minute walk. It could even be breaking it up over the day. I mean, I could go for 3 10-minute walks throughout the day. I could do a body weight workout at home. I could go to the gym and work out. But every single day, I must do something. And ideally, if I have the perfect scenario, the perfect schedule, I like to alternate weight training one day and cardio the next. Weight training one day, cardio the next. And I refer to this as my yin and yang training system, where I'm alternating high intensity weight training and low intensity cardio. And I find the combination of both is a very complementary form of exercise, because during those high intensity weight training days, you're breaking your body down, you're stimulating muscle growth, and then on the low intensity cardio days, you're giving your body active recovery. You're allowing it to recover from the high intensity of the weight training, but you're still getting the health and fitness benefits of daily exercise. You're burning calories, you're strengthening your heart, you're burning the body fat, you're getting the mental clarity and the endorphins of regular exercise, but it's complementary. So it's high intensity alternated with low intensity. And I love that situation. And ideally, if I have control over my schedule and control over going to the gym and all that kind of stuff, that's what I do. Weight training one day, cardio the next. But if you want, you can even add in extra cardio. Like, there's nothing wrong with going for a walk and doing weight training all in the one day. Like, the thing about walking is it's such an underrated form of exercise. Like, you can do it. And it doesn't hinder your recovery from weight training. If anything, it helps to active recovery. It helps to improve you, because you're getting the blood flow, you're getting some circulation, you're getting some fresh air in your lungs, and it just helps to aid with the whole recovery process, and it makes you feel good. Plus, it helps to burn fat and keeps you lean. So walking is such an underrated form of exercise. I mean, I do it, ideally, I walk every single day. Weather permitting, of course. If I can't get outside to walk, I'll do cardio indoors. I've got an elliptical machine at home, or if I'm allowed, I'll go to the gym and do cardio there. But bottom line, you want to keep yourself active every single day. Okay, let's see what else we got. Another question. There's a part 2 of that question. It says, when you do cardio, can you eat more? Your diet is really going to depend on your goal. If your goal is to gain mass and actually get bigger, then you want to be in a slight calorie surplus. If your goal is fat loss, then no, you don't want to eat more. You want to be in a slight calorie deficit. So the dietary component really depends on you, your situation, your goals, what it is you want to achieve. But I will give you some suggestions here. Most people eat too darn much. That's why most people are fat. Even if you work out, most people still eat too darn much. Like, you look at the average person in the gym, even if they're in the gym working out every day, they're strong, they're lifting weights and everything else. If they take their shirt off, guess what? Most of them have a gut. Like, very few people can lift up their shirt and have visible abdominal definition, right? You don't see it very often, right? So most people are eating too much. So be conservative when it comes to the foods, right? You don't need to eat like a pig just because you're exercising. Like, you do not burn as much calories exercising as a lot of people think, right? You want to be conservative and use the exercise to help burn the fat, right? Burn the fat off your body and maintain a lean physique. That's the whole purpose of this. So if your goal is fat loss and you're starting to do more cardio, then don't think, well, oh, because I did cardio today, that gives me, I'm justified to start eating more calories, right? Like, burning 500 calories in a cardio session and then slamming back 1,000 calories in more food afterwards, like, you just canceled out the benefits and you actually put yourself in a in a negative situation. Like, you can easily cancel out the fat burning benefits of your exercise by simply eating too much. So keep the diet in check. And how I personally do it is filling up on the nutrient dense, low calorie foods. So every meal I start off with protein and vegetables, every single meal, right? That's my base, that's my filler food, that's the foundation. And when you fill up on protein and vegetables, you get the eating satisfaction. You get the volume in your stomach. It helps to curb your appetite, fill you up, nourish your body, and it helps to control your appetite. So then afterwards, if I do eat carbohydrates, or even if I do have some, not so good junk food afterwards, I'm already pre-filled with protein and vegetables that I physically can't eat as too much afterwards because my belly is full and I get to the point where I'm just like stuffed. Right? So, I mean, that's my go-to strategy, and it works phenomenally well. Fill up on protein and vegetables as the first thing. Get that in your system, and then you can have some, if you want the carbohydrates, whether it's the pasta, the potatoes, the rice, or something like that afterwards, have some of that. And then if you do want to have a little bit of, a sweet or a junk food or a treat, have a little bit in moderation afterwards to kind of like satisfy the cravings. But make sure that you're filling up with the high nutrient, low calorie dense foods first, because that will control your appetite and make it so much easier to stick to a plan. Right? If you start off with the high calorie foods first, then it's so easy to overeat on those foods. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, let's say you were going to sit down to a big pasta dinner, right? Like spaghetti and meatballs or something like that. If you just start, like, you're hungry and you just start filling up on spaghetti and meatballs, like, you can easily eat way too much and have this massive high calorie meal. Whereas if you started off with like a large garden salad, filled up on that, and then probably had some lean protein along with it, maybe like a chicken breast, and then afterwards had your pasta, guess what? You're going to eat less pasta because your belly is already full of vegetables and chicken beforehand. And then you have less room for the pasta. And you still get to eat it, you still get to enjoy it, but you're going to enjoy it in smaller quantities, and it's not going to be as detrimental to your fat loss. So how you order your foods can have a huge impact in your overall results. Right, fill up on the nutrient-dense, low-calorie foods first. What else we got? All right, RC is actually sharing some tips there. He says, watch the diet. It's really easy to fatten up these days. Walk, keep warm, and don't come out of the shower into a cold room. Wash your hands regularly. Do push-ups and pull-ups and knee bends. All right, there. Good tips all around. Another question here. This one's from Crossfire. I think he's got a two-part question. Let me see. I think it is. It says part one. Okay. Follow up to my question from last week. Strength at a light body weight. I follow 4-day splits. Monday, Tuesday, a 1 RM upper lower. Thursday, Friday, 10 by 10 upper lower, similar to conjugate. What is your opinion of this modality? Personally, I don't know if you'll even be able to follow that at the right now, unless you have your gym is still open. It really depends on your goals. Like, what is it you're trying to train? So you're going from heavy 1 rep max lifts to 10 by 10 lifts. I actually like that idea of alternating heavy and lighter training. If you're, especially if you're training each body part twice a week, and one of them is a heavy workout, the next one is a lighter workout. Like that's a great complementary way to train. I've done that in the past, and I found it works really well. Like the heavy workouts complement the lighter workouts, the lighter workouts complement the heavy workouts. It's a great way to make fast progress. Like prime example, one of my old school programs that I have, the Blast Your Bench program. I know if you've been following me for years, you've probably seen this, heard of it, maybe followed it yourself. That's the premise behind the Blast Your Bench program. Is it alternates heavy, high intensity, low rep training with high repetition training. So you're alternating the heavy and the light, kind of similar to what you just mentioned there, and that works. That works really well. That's a very great system to follow. So yeah, I mean, obviously you want to work within your recovery abilities and your work capacity, but alternating heavy and light workouts like that is a great way to train. As far as like the 1 rep max, I'd be a bit cautious on that. Again, that depends on your goals, because when you're pushing really heavy, a 1 rep max, like you're pushing the threshold of the risk to reward ratio is very often not in your favor, because 1 rep max lifting, you're walking a tightrope for injury, because you're literally pushing yourself to your absolute maximum. And if things go wrong with 1 rep max weights, you can easily get injured. Like that's where things go wrong. That's where people tear pecs. That's where people blow out rotator cuffs. That's where people snap patella tendons and screw up their back and all that kind of stuff. Like personally, I do not do 1 rep max in anything. I've not maxed out a lift in years, and I have no intentions of doing it, because at this stage of the game, the risk of injury is not worth it. Like whatever potential benefit is, I'm not powerlifting anymore. I really couldn't care less what I can bench, squat, or deadlift, or any exercise for that matter. So a heavy set for me these days is 5 reps. Like if I do a heavy set of 5, like that is my max. And personally, I try to do even higher reps. Like most of my workouts are in the 10 to 15 repetition range at this stage of the game, right? Like less than 10 reps is heavy for me at this stage. And because I'm just trying to improve my health, my fitness. I want to be mobile. I want to stay injury free. So pushing the heavy weights for really low reps, you got to look at the risk to reward ratio. Now, I mean, obviously, if you're competing in powerlifting or some strength sports, that's different, because that's obviously the purpose of the strength sport. But from a personal point of view, like everybody that I know personally who's been powerlifting or weightlifting for any length of time, they've been through the meat grinder. They've got the injuries. They've got the battle wounds, right? I've known guys like torn pecs and shoulders, hip replacements, blown out knees, torn muscles. You talk to anybody who's been powerlifting for any prolonged period of time and just ask them about their injuries, and like I'm telling you, like sit down, get yourself a cup of coffee, and just relax and listen to the conversation, because they're going to go on and on about all the injuries they've had. Like heavy low rep training just opens up the door for injuries, right? You're going to be put through the meat grinder. And it's at this stage of the game, you kind of have to look at like what's your priority at this. Is the risk worth the reward? And if it is, go for it. If it's not, and you're just in this for health and fitness benefits, then don't do 1 rep max, right? I'd rather be around to lift a long time versus pushing the limits and getting injured. All right, I'm going to get ready and include this up soon, because I'm going to be doing a follow-along workout very shortly, but I'll just answer a couple more questions. Azim is joining in. He's a regular, tunes in every week, saying, what's your opinion of the Zottman Curl? It's a great forearm exercise. For those of you who are not familiar with Zottman curls, it's basically you're doing a curl with the, it's hard to show here on the camera, but you're doing a curl where you're, can't even get in and show it. A regular dumbbell curl with the palms facing up, and then you rotate your palm facing down and you do a negative in a reverse curl fashion. So that is a Zottman curl. It's a great forearm exercise, right? That's where you're going to feel it most, because what happens is you can curl in a regular fashion so much more than you can lower in a reverse curl. So you're getting the positive contraction in a strong position, and then you're getting that negative contraction in the weaker position. But it's a good forearm exercise. Yeah, I mean, if you enjoy it, hey, by all means, do it. All right, Mad Devils is giving thumbs up times 10,000. Thank you, my friend. Lots of thumbs ups there. Appreciate it, guys. All right, this is from Marvin. He's saying, why is it I'm 175 pounds, around 20% body fat, yet I only lose weight if I eat 1,200 calories? That there's so much going on there. I mean, maybe 1,200 calories is where you need to be in order to be in a deficit in order to lose weight, but there's a bigger picture going on here. I mean, first off, you have to say, like, are you accurately tracking the calories, right? Because a lot of people don't accurately track their calories. And when I've talked to people, either they're misrepresenting their calories, overestimating, not counting certain foods. Like, I know some people, for example, like they don't count the calories from vegetables, right? They think, oh, I don't need to count that because it's vegetables. Well, guess what? Vegetables have calories too. Or sometimes you might be consuming calories from other food sources and you're not counting it. Like if you are cooking your food with cooking oil or coconut oil or anything like that. A lot of times people are not counting the calories that they're getting from the cooking oil. Or if they're adding things to their food, like if you're adding barbecue sauces or ketchups or salad dressing, they're not counting the calories that they're getting from the condiments. So a lot of times when people say I'm eating X number of calories, if you were to actually break it down and look at what they actually do eat versus how much and everything else, a lot of times people are under recording their calories, especially if you're seeing these like, oh, I'm only eating 1,200 calories a day and I'm not losing weight. Like, man, are you really only eating 1,200 calories a day? Right? You know, like, and like, how long have you been eating 1,200 calories a day for? Like, what's the bigger picture, all right, of the diet, the exercise, the lifestyle, and everything else? I mean, if you would like some help with this, send me an email and we can, have a more detailed conversation and really discuss, all the nitty gritty details. Like that's a big conversation, right? What you're talking about there. It's not something that's going to be answered in a quick little one-line YouTube comment, right? That's a detailed conversation. That's something that I sometimes, get on the phone and have a conversation with people, right? We break out and have a strategy session, because this is not just some quick little, yes, no, do this type of answer. Because when it comes to lifestyle and fat loss and everything else, it's not just calories. Like the reason why people are overweight and out of shape is not because they don't know how many calories to eat. Like, you can go on Google right now and type in a calorie formula and boom, you get you type in your height, your weight, and it'll tell you, okay, eat this many calories. That's not the reason why people are overweight and out of shape. Right? It goes deeper than that. It's the habits and the lifestyle and the consistency and making that stuff work in a real world situation. That's where people are screwing up. It's not because they don't know, how many calories they need based on their body weight, right? That's like starting point one, right? But there's so much more that goes into it beyond that. And that's where, we really need, to look at your situation, look at your lifestyle, look at everything in a bigger picture and see, okay, where are you screwing up? Where could you improve? What are you doing well? What are you not doing well? And really analyze it and break it down step by step. And that's something that's way more detailed than a YouTube comment. So again, if you'd like some help with this to really map out a realistic action plan, send me an email. Again, my email is lee@leehayward.com. All right, guys, let's see what else. All right, there's a lot of questions coming through there, but I'm not going to be able to answer them all because I'm going to be doing a live workout very soon, so I want to get ready for that. So if you would like to join me for a follow-along workout, this is going to be a body weight, primarily body weight, probably throw in some resistance band exercises in there as well. But head on over to my Facebook page. It's Total Fitness Bodybuilding. So if you just go to Facebook, type in Lee Hayward's Total Fitness Bodybuilding, you'll see it there. You can, I'll post a link to it in the description of this video afterwards, but just go over there, like the group or like the page, and you can actually join the group. We have two. There's a page and there's a group, right? The group is, you have to request to join the group. The page is you just click like, but it's going to be streamed from the page, and I'll be there doing a live follow-along workout. So if you would like to join me, it's going to be in about, how are we doing for time? I'm going to do it in a half an hour. In 30 minutes from now, I'm going to be doing the live workout. So head on over if you want to get your pump on. Join me over there in 30 minutes. And in the meantime, have yourself a great weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed the video chat. I certainly enjoyed doing these, and I'll be talking to you in a video chat coming soon. So stay safe, wash your hands, take care of yourself, and hopefully we get through this together as quickly as possible. All right, have yourself a good one, guys. Take care. Over and out. All right, now how do I end this thing?